Hello, RWorld. Welcome back to another episode of RWorldTalk. We are lucky enough to have another one of our elected officials joining us this morning. Welcome to Mayor Joel Flores.
It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Well, thank you for being here. How are you, sir?
I'm doing pretty good. It's a beautiful day out there, and I can't wait to have a great discussion with you and talk to our realtors. I think that's very important.
Okay, wonderful. First off, I want to thank you for your service to our country and serving in the Army. So thank you very much for that. Certainly admirable cause that you were fighting for. For those of you that don't, for anybody who does not know you, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. So I'm a community person. I've lived a life of servitude. At a very young age, I started coaching basketball. I eventually joined the military. Came back to my community and decided to run for office. So, serving my community, being a staple, being able to help our youth is something that's extremely important to me. I have 3 beautiful children who I'm extremely proud of. I'm at the schools with my parents, my fellow community members. I go to the same grocery stores. I'm just a community person. So to me, giving a voice to my community has just come naturally. And that's who I am. I'm just another community person, just trying to watch out for our youth and make sure that everybody has a safe place to live.
Okay, awesome. A lot of people forget that. Our elected officials are members of our community and just normal people as well. So you were elected mayor of Greenacres in 2017. At that time, what made you want to run for mayor?
So I just felt like my community lacked some representation and some voices. And Greenacres at that time, predominantly, they were all retirees on the dais. And I thought I could lend some of my expertise, my experiences, and give voices to the workforce, to the working parent, to the father, to the parent, to the veterans, and to the business community. So I decided to roll up my sleeves and get involved in the city. I started in the planning commission.
Okay.
Got involved through that, through those different committees that different municipalities have. And from there, my interest grew into politics. Mayor Sanferrari announced he was going to retire. He then had a discussion with me and asked me to consider running for mayor. And at that point in time, I had sort of thought about possibly running for a council seat. Not running and stepping right into that mayor role. But he realized my potential, and I thought that I could represent our community. And 2 terms later, here I am, and I feel pretty good about the work that we've done in Greenacres, and hopefully we can take that to the county.
Awesome. That's really interesting. I think majority of people, when they're thinking about stepping into elected office and community service, public servitude, they would think that you absolutely need to step into a council seat or commission seat before you would run for mayor. Like it's like stepping stones to get there, but you were already doing some community service with the various committees that you were on. How long were you doing that? How many years were you serving on committees before you did?
So it was about 1.5 years. However, I had strong ties to the community. At that point in time, I was working as the vice president of the Palm Beach North Chamber of Commerce. And I had very strong relations, and that's extremely important in anything you do, and when it's community-based or county government level, anything that you do, and even in real estate, it's about establishing those relationships, people that you trust, people that understand who you are, where you come from, what you stand for. And having that established, I think helped, take me to that role where I could actually be mayor without actually having to run for council. And having the different support, I had county commissioners supporting me. I had the mayor, I had the majority of the council behind me. So that actually helped being able to establish those relationships before launching myself to be or running for mayor.
Wow, that's incredible. You obviously did a good job, mayor, and did a good job as mayor in your first term because you were reelected in 2020. So now serving your second term. Why do you think your constituents had the confidence to keep letting you lead Greenacres? Obviously, you talked about having those ties and really putting in the work and people noticing that that you were someone special that was really helping the community. But in your opinion, what gave your constituents that confidence to keep you going?
I firmly believe is that they realize that I care. And I'm very genuine about everything that I do. Whether it's coaching basketball, I coach basketball as the mayor.
Still to this day.
I still coach basketball.
Okay.
We just finished the season. We very happy to report we won the championship.
Nice. Congratulations.
Thank you. But it's I'm a person that cares. I'm involved in the youth. I go to the schools as often as they need me. It's good for them to see a good role model. If I was able to make it from a small little island in Puerto Rico, didn't even know English, to becoming a mayor of a city, then these kids could see that they can do it too. Greenacres is very diverse, and it's good for them to see someone that looks like them and speaks a different language and can tell the story. Hey, I didn't speak English at one point, and I had to stutter through that in my early youth. So to me, having that connection with my community extremely important. Whether right as I got elected, 2017, there was a hurricane in Puerto Rico, and then the community came out and they wanted me to do a food drive. And then before I knew it, we started putting stuff in a closet. Over the weekend, I had the gym packed. During COVID, we realized that there were a lot of people that were let go. They didn't have enough food. They didn't have enough money for bills. So we started a food drive to be able to have people be able to support themselves during COVID. I mean, nobody expected what ended up happening with COVID. But we were able to open our doors in Greenacres and feed those people that didn't have enough to put for their kids and their families. So, most people were at home, sheltering or distancing, as we called it. Every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I was out there doing a food drive, making sure that people got fed.
Wow.
So to me, that's what being an elected official is. It's working for the people that got you there. And to me, I think that's what people see when they interact with me, is that I generally care about my community. I want to make sure that I leave it in better hands. I have a 21-year-old and a 19-year-old and a 16-year-old who are almost there, or becoming a young adult, branching out into their own. Hopefully they'll finish school here shortly.
Right.
But at some point, they're going to have to find a place to live, be part of the community, find a great job. And I want to make sure that when I leave as my time as an elected official, I left in better hands for them so that they're able to flourish.
You just mentioned that they're going to need a place to live, and you've got 43,000 realtors listening to this podcast. So I think that your mailbox is going to be filled with flyers by the end of the week.
Yes.
So what are some key issues that you tackled that you are the most proud of?
I think housing has been one of those critical issues that we're still facing today.
Right.
And we have done the best that we could in Greenacres to continue to enhance and provide a great place to live for our residents. Housing has skyrocketed here, and there's a lot of people, especially I feel like the workforce of the county has felt the strain. So we've tried to create programs that are friendly for the workforce, try to create quality housing for our people. And you have to have a great balance, because you don't want to take away from the integrity of who you are, what Greenacres is or what District 3 is. We want to make sure that I call it smart growth. We're able to grow in a smart manner, but without ever, infringing on the values of the community that you have. And I think we've done a really good job in Greenacres of doing that. And that's sort of what I'm hoping to do in District 3 as I look to become the next county commissioner.
Sure. That's got to be a juggling act for you guys to manage that growth. I live in a city that's experiencing that now, where so many people are drawn to the city, but then at the same time, it's we've got to house these people, but you really don't want to lose that community feel that people are moving into that city for.
Yeah.
So that's a big time juggling act. That
you never want to compromise the identity of who you are.
Exactly.
And it's a juggling act, as you mentioned, but there are ways to get it done. And I think one of the words that I love using is redevelopment. It's looking at a space that currently exists and how could we redevelop that area to make it work for both, one, to house the people that need to be here, and to still provide, because you could do mixed use. You can still do shopping plazas, you can still have businesses, you can also have housing above. So there's many different ways to tackle this. without losing your identity.
Sure.
And I think that's what we've been able to do in Greenacres.
So our association has supported you since being elected. How would you describe your relationship with the Realtors?
I think Realtors really know what's happening in our community. I mean, they're so involved. They're talking to people every day, whether they're showing a house or they're putting a house on the market. They truly understand the pulse of your own community. So if you really want to get information, talk to a realtor, because they really know what's happening. They can tell you market value. They can tell you good neighborhoods, what things to watch out for. Hey, Mayor, you may want to watch out for this because there are some issues there. So they're great people to be connected. The Realtors have been there for me. I've used them as a resource. Anytime I have any questions regarding housing, not too long ago, we went forward with a bond that we asked the people to support, and we were able to do that. But the Realtors were behind that. And to me, when the county started talking about this bond, the first people that I called were the Realtors Association, make sure that they were on board before we went any further. And to me, that's what an association should be like. It should be a great relationship where you're able to share information. Listen, I'm a mayor, doesn't mean that I'm an expert in everything.
Right.
So I have to rely on the experts to guide me through certain things, educate me, make sure that I have all the information at hand so I can make decisions that are in the best interest of my constituents. So at the end of the day, Realtors are somebody that I've relied on for about 8 years now, and I look forward to continuing that relationship.
We are always happy to help, especially when it comes to market data and what we are seeing happening in the communities and market trends and things like that, to help you focus on whatever task that you have at hand. If there's anything that you possibly need, and everybody out there should know, reach out to the real estate community, because the data that we have is incredible, and you never know what you're going to be able to pull out of there to take a look at a certain area and find out what's selling and who's moving there and where they're coming from.
Exactly.
We've got all the info for you. So you've served at local level, obviously currently serving at mayor, but now you've got your eyes set on Palm Beach County District number 3.
Correct.
Why?
It's a lot of things that are coming together here in District 3. Back in 2021, this became the first Hispanic majority district. At that point, the community came out. I am of Hispanic descent, and they asked me to consider running for the seat to become the first Hispanic elected official. I take that with great pride that people entrusted me to consider me or to ask me to become the next county commissioner.
Sure.
But to me, why I'm running for this is not to become the first Hispanic county commissioner, is to give my community a voice, make sure that District 3 is represented in the manner that it should. District 3 is the workforce housing in the county. If you look at the numbers, the stats, you will see that the lowest, average price home, you're going to find it probably in District 3. And to me, it's important that we represent these folks, that we continue to provide them opportunities, that we grow in a very smart manner.
Sure.
Anytime we start talking about growth and housing, we also need to look at what traffic is going to look like. How are we moving people east, west, north, and south? So to me, making sure that there's proper housing, that there's adequate housing, that there's enough housing, make sure that there is transportation, that we're not sitting in a trip that usually would take you 10, 15 minutes, that we're not taking 45 minutes to get to work.
A lot of people are experiencing that.
A lot of people are experiencing that, and that has become a major pain point for a lot of my constituents. We only have one Southern that moves us a little faster east and west. We have to get creative on how we move people. I don't know what that looks like right now, but what I've also seen is that we lack a lot of planning and strategy up in the county. And that's what I hope to bring. I have the experience. I've done it in Greenacres. I know it's at a smaller scale, but we can scale up. And then, everybody wants to live in a safe county. So we want to make sure that we continue to provide safety for our folks, that law and order are in place. And these are all things that are important to us. I think the reason that people move into Greenacres is because they have seen a change. They've seen that the crime statistics have decreased. We have beautified the city. We've invested into the city. And I just hope to take that into the next step, which is District 3. Make sure that District 3 is coherent, that we are all working together. We have about 6-7 different municipalities, and we want to make sure that we represent our folks. A lot of the investments in the county tends to go towards the north or the south end. That's great, but we also want those opportunities to come into District 3.
Of course. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your campaign and the platform that you're running on? Obviously, you've just talked about transportation and a couple other things, but let us know exactly how the campaign is going first off, and then what the platform looks like.
So the campaign is going great. We are doing everything we possibly have to do to make sure that we claim District 3. Fundraising is in full effect. We're out there every single weekend knocking on doors, holding signs. We have a strong base of volunteers who have shown us support. They give me some hours every single week to go out there and knock on doors. By the way, that's one of my favorite parts of campaigning, is knocking on someone's door, introducing yourself, and when you tell them that you're the mayor, they're like, really, the mayor's knocking on my door? Absolutely. But you know what? It's grassroots. It's about connecting with people. If they have concerns, this is a great way for me to find out. If they're worried about something, they take the time. They've invited me for coffee. They've invited me for birthday parties. They're having their birthday parties. I'm knocking on their door. They're like, hey, you want to come in? You want to meet everybody? But this is what campaigning is about. It's about really connecting with your voters, your constituents, and finding out what keeps them up at night. And that's what you get in a county commissioner like myself, someone who's going to care, someone who's going to be there, someone who's going to answer the phone when you call them, someone who's going to have an office in the district. Currently, there is no office in the district. And one of you. I mean, I can't make this any simpler. I work in the community. You'll see me at the schools with my own children. You'll see me at the grocery store. I care about what I do, about what my community looks like and what it's going to look like in the future. So,
well, that's you as
absolutely
live there.
Not only affects me, but my children as they graduate and they enter the workforce. I want to make sure that they don't move out. I mean, I don't want to price them out either. I want to make sure that there's great jobs here in the county for my children to flourish. I want to see them grow here. I want to see them have my family all around me. I've heard many stories where kids graduate and they choose not to live in the county because it's expensive.
They can't afford to.
They can't afford to come home.
Right.
So they have to go get their experience elsewhere. We need entry-level positions. We need the young talent. We need the young workforce. We need that pipeline. Also, what I'm hearing is a lot of people are moving to Port St. Lucie, and they're driving down to. So our workforce.
I have the data to support that.
Yes, and I know the trends are there. But we really have to create a better ecosystem for our families. The businesses are streaming. They need the workforce. But yeah, when they recruit them and they offer them jobs, they don't take it because they can't afford what they're going to make. So we really have to address this. I think the county, they've started, but they're not quite there. Even the housing bond money hasn't been implemented yet. They just barely approved a couple of projects. But those aren't going to, they're not going to be built in two years from now.
Right.
So we need to get working on a lot of these issues.
Okay. Besides that, any other main issues that you want to tackle when you get that seat?
Listen, I'm not going to be making a lot of headway coming in. I'm the type of person that I'm going to study everything. I'm going to see what issues need to be addressed. I think primarily my concerns right now are housing, transportation, traffic, and hopefully we keep it at that. When you don't hear from government, it's a good thing, and that's what I hope to do is make sure that we're planning for the future, make sure that we're managing that smart growth as I call it, and that we're doing what the residents want and need.
Okay, so is there anything that you could utilize our association for when it comes to the housing and private property issues?
Hey, listen, I'm always going to be relying on you guys. So make sure that you guys also let me know what you guys are expecting out of the county. I know that more housing is something that it's important for everyone. I know the realtors are behind that. But I think it's the main thing is keeping open lines of communication. Make sure that if there's any concerns that you guys see, or if there's any issues, that we have open lines of communication. So I know what's happening in my own community. I think pretty much, I think that's the relationship I want to keep with the realtors. If there's any concerns, that those are brought up to my attention, and vice versa. If I see something out there, I'm going to rely on you guys to be the experts and sort of guide me through some of these issues, whether it's local, state, or even national level. So, because remember, we get to work with our counterparts at the state and our Congress. So, it's always important that you keep us abreast of what's happening, and vice versa.
Like I said, we are more than happy to help. We've got a whole host of contacts for you here at the office, but we're certainly happy to pitch in whenever necessary, especially when it comes to housing, private property issues, things like that. I know that you're a busy guy. You got to go back to mayoring. So final question for you. Why don't you tell our members who live in District 3 here in Palm Beach County why they should support you as their next District 3 commissioner?
Thank you. So, Mayor Flores, Greenacres, I've been the mayor for now 2 terms. I had the pleasure of representing my community. And the reason that you should vote for me is because I am a community person. I've served in the military. I've served as the mayor. I've worked in education, and I also am a small business owner. I understand a lot of the pain points. I understand a lot of the things that keep us up at night. And I want to make sure that when you go to bed, you know that you have somebody at District 3 at the county level that's going to represent you and your interest. And somebody is going to be approachable, someone who you're going to be able to call, either lean in and make sure that they, at the end of the day, represent us the way we want to be represented. And that's who I am. I'm a community person. I'm a father of 3. And I hope that we can continue to work together and make District 3 and Palm Beach County a great place to raise our family.
I'm sold. I don't live in Greenacres, so I can't vote for you, but I'm sold. Mayor Flores, thank you so much for being with us today. And we will see you guys right back here next time on RWorldTalk.